Coming off a double overtime win last night, Miami Heat fans, they are ready for more basketball in South Beach against the Mavericks. But really, it's Dallas who has been turning up the heat. Luka Doncic and company are 15-2 since March 7th. The defensive thermostat has been dialed all the way up. They've been the best in basketball in that span. We have the Heat. We have the Mavs. We're counting you down on ESPN.
Welcome to NBA Countdown presented by DoorDash.
Hey, welcome inside our Los Angeles studios alongside Chiney Ogwumike back from crushing the tournament coverage. We have Sergeant Kendrick Perkins over there, Richard Allen Jefferson in the building. He brought a basketball. Our senior insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. I'm Malika Anders. It's our last Wednesday doubleheader of the regular season. What? Ooh, fam. So we gotta make. Oh, Richard's like, aw. So with 4 days to go in the regular season, let's take some inventory, Rich.
Yes. Oh, here you got a little.
Thank you.
That's the rock.
Of how the Western Conference is shaken out, right? Because the play-in, it would feature the Suns, the Kings, the Lakers, and the Warriors. Some big California representation there. And the winners of those games, they would earn the right to face either the Timberwolves or the Nuggets, which leads us to tonight's key matchups delivered by Papa John's, because it is a massive showdown between the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. It could essentially decide the number one seed in the Western Conference here. And Anthony Edwards and Nikola Jokic, they were asked about the implications ahead of this one.
I think everybody knows what's at stake, so I don't even need to talk about how big of a game it is. I think everybody knows.
I mean, I don't think it's a really big game. Yes, we're going to go out there to play and win a game, of course, but I think people are just making the story. It's a big game. I mean, hopefully it's going to be interesting, but I don't think so. It's that big of a game.
You know, it's different team. All right, it's time to go out to Kaseya Center. Mike Breen, Doris Burke, JJ Redick, Lisa Salters, take it away.
Thanks so much, Malika. Just 5 days left in the regular season, and of the 20 spots available for the playoffs or the play-in, only one seat is cemented. Still so much up for grabs, and that includes the Miami Heat and the Dallas Mavericks. For Luka Doncic and the Mavericks, currently 5th in the Western Conference. They can still finish either 4, 5, or 6 in the final 3 games. Meanwhile, Bam Adebayo and the Heat currently 8th in the East, but they are still desperately trying to get into the top 6 and avoid the play-in tournament. As we welcome you to NBA Courtside, presented by DoorDash. And good evening, everyone, with JJ Redick and Doris Burke. Mike Breen on hand, Lisa Salters with us as well. How much fun is this down the regular season? So much still at stake, with it all ending on Sunday before the best part of the year comes about. All right, let's start with the Dallas Mavericks, JJ. Hottest team in the NBA, 15-2 in their last 17 games. They've had great team basketball. They've also had great play from a spectacular player.
Luka Doncic is leading the NBA in scoring and nearly averaging a triple-double. He is in complete control and command on the offensive end and will exploit whatever defense you throw at him. Single coverage, he's in score mode. If you decide to double, he now has the supporting cast to hurt you. And with this winning streak and this play from Luka, he is now a front runner along with Nikola Jokic for the MVP. You look at this stat right here. For his career, he now has the second most combined points per game, rebounds per game, and assists per game, trailing only the great Wilt Chamberlain.
Meanwhile, he has another dynamic player in the backcourt with him in Kyrie Irving, and their connectivity has been absolutely essential for this team's success. With more on that, let's check in with Lisa Salters. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, a healthy Luka Doncic and a healthy Kyrie Irving. That's what the Mavericks have this season, what they did not have last year when Kyrie was traded to Dallas midway through the season. And, you know, the two really just played 16 total games together last year. The Mavericks missed the playoffs, and then the questions began. Could they really be an effective duo? Well, if you take a look at the numbers for this season, you can see the answer is yes. Irving says he and Luka just take the pressure off of each other, and he says he's really enjoyed getting to play a full season with Doncic, getting to really know him. Kyrie said he's even tried to learn to speak Slovenian, but he admits he's not very good at it. And Luka says he and Irving have always had a great relationship. He said he doesn't know why people thought that they didn't get along or that they couldn't play together. Kyrie is a great guy, a great human being, Luka said, and he helps me on the court in so many ways. Mike?
All right, Lise, thanks so much. Meanwhile, for the Miami Heat, we've been here before. An inconsistent regular season, guys in and out of the lineup. But they're one of the teams in the East that nobody wants to play in the playoffs. And the main reason is it's Jimmy Butler's favorite time of year.
Yeah, the question is always, can they make another run? For me, it's always tied to the level of aggression and engagement with Jimmy Butler. He's lifted this organization twice to the finals. Think about their last game, Mike. They're in a double overtime dogfight with the Atlanta Hawks. So the higher the leverage of the moment, the more pressure involved, the calmer he seems to be. This was an enormous three he makes. He's getting to the free throw line about 8 times, Mike, and that ability to draw contact when you need a bucket is so significant for a Miami team that struggles to score. Different this season is his ability to balance the drive game with that three-point shooting. He's more dangerous, and that's a problem.
He's missed 22 games in the regular season. He doesn't miss the playoffs very often. Meanwhile, tonight is Luka Doncic's one visit here to Miami during the regular season, and his fans have come from far and away to watch this great player operate and help Dallas get a better spot in the playoffs. Heat, Mavericks coming up. More on NBA Courtside.
NBA Courtside on ESPN is presented by DoorDash, the official partner of the NBA.
You feel your heart pumping.
Jimmy Butler delivers the victory. A southpaw finish from Kyrie Irving.
The thrilling season has left its mark. All that remains is the final push.
This is the fun part. This is what you do the entire summer for, and now you get to show out.
We know where we are positioning-wise, and we know what we're fighting for.
The chemistry is great, so we just keep going.
The Dallas duo is hitting their peak.
High flyer!
And the Heat are always poised to catch fire.
We're going for it. That's who we are.
There will be
Mavs, Heat, next.
Miami is on the march.
Time now for the Dallas Mavericks and the Miami Heat on an NBA Wednesday, presented by State Farm. And it's all part of the PNC Bank playoff push. Down here in South Florida, in South Beach. It's April, so it means playoff time is nearing. And down here in Miami, they're hoping for another long run from their Heat. As we look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by the United States Air Force. And Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, the dynamic backcourt, but the great acquisitions midseason, P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford have made a real impact. Meanwhile, for the Heat, Hero, Butler, and Adebayo have not played a lot of games together because of various injuries, but they are healthy now, and they've got some help from the young Nikola Jovic. Well, you really can't say there's a rivalry between these two teams, but they did have two great NBA memorable finals. 2006, the Heat, their first title, as they were down 0-2, won 4 consecutive. 2011, Dallas returned the favor with their first title, and they clinched their championship right here on this floor. And Dallas head coach Jason Kidd got the title, was on the floor that night performing for the Mavericks. And what lies ahead for these two teams in these playoffs? Can't wait to find out. By this time next week, there'll already be a night of play-in tournament games over. And both teams played last night.